Welcome to my video lecture. I am Dr. A. Velmurugan, Associate Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Government College of Engineering, Chettikare, Dharmaburi. In this video lecture from upcoming semester Thermal Engineering 1, Unit 3 Internal Combustion Engine Combustion. From Module 1, we can discuss about the classification of the internal combustion engines, and also we can discuss about the what are the important components used for the internal combustion engines. So from this slide, we can discuss about the content, that is a IC engine classification, working and component and their functions. And also we can discuss about the ideal and actual condition going on the wall timing and port timing diagrams. Finally, we can discuss about the PV diagram of the 2-stroke and 4-stroke engines. After that, we can discuss about the 4-stroke SA engine operation and CA engine operation. So next we can discuss about the geometric and operating and performance comparison of the spark ignition engine and the combustion ignition engines. Finally, we can discuss about the desirable properties and the quality of the fuel, air-fuel ratio calculation, lean and rich mixtures, combustion in the spark ignition engine and CA engines, and knocking phenomena and controls. So from this slide, we can discuss about the engine. So what is meant by engine? Engine is a prime mover or energy conversion device. It is transferred from one form to another. So from that engine, we can using from here, that is a heat engine. The heat engine is convert the thermal energy in the fuel into mechanical energy of the motion. So generally from the heat engine, that is a from the fuel is a chemical energy. The fuel is goes to the internal combustion engine from the combustion chamber. With the help of the spark plug, we can ignite the molecules, we can produce the heat energy. After that, heat energy is converted into mechanical energy. So generally the classifying the engine is classification is based on the location of the combustion, types of combustion, and type of internal motions. So generally the heat engine is classified into two category. One is a internal combustion engine, another one is a external combustion engine. So from the internal combustion engine, the combustion will be occurred on the inside of the engine, that is a internal combustion engine. From here we can using the lighter fuel, that is a petrol, or the heavier fuel is that is a diesel. From the external combustion engine, the combustion will be occur on the externally. After that, from the help of the boiler, we can produce the steam. The steam is goes to the from the turbine with the help of the nozzle. So we can rotate the turbine with the impinges to rotate the turbine. After that, we can produce the energy. So generally the external combustion engine is used to produce the electricity generation and the ship applications. So from the types of combustion is, that is a three type. One is a intermittent combustion. From here, the example of the intermittent combustion is from the tanker, we can using the explosive, the explosive will be busted. So that is a intermittent combustion. But in the continuous combustion, that is we can using the rocket engine. From the rocket engine, the combustion will be continuously, that is a continuous combustion. So next we can discuss about the internal combustion engine. From the internal combustion engine, generally the combustion will be happen on the inside of the combustion chamber. So how the combustion will be made means because of so for example in the petrol engine, from the petrol engine, that the air fuel molecules are homogeneously entered to the combustion chamber from the way of suction valve, from that inlet valve. From the first stroke is suction stroke. From the suction stroke, that is a air fuel molecules are entered to the combustion chamber. For the time the piston is moving from top dead center to bottom dead center. The next stroke is compression stroke. From the compression stroke, for that condition, both the valve will be closed, that is inlet valve and exhaust valve will be closed. From the end of the compression stroke, with the help of the spark plug, the spark will be quenching the all the hydrocarbon molecules, the combustion will be started. So that's it, that way, that is the internal combustion engines. For that process, the next stroke is power stroke and exhaust stroke. So from this slide, we can discuss about the heat engine. From here, we can show the photographic view of the heat engines. From here, the first figure is we can see the chemical energy. From the chemical energy, we can fill the fuel in the petrol tank. That is a chemical energy. After that fuel is goes to the internal combustion engine, we can produce the heat energy. From the heat energy is converted into mechanical energy and you do the useful shaft work. So from step one, we can burn the fuel. From step two, we can conversion of the energy. So that energy is stored on the flywheel. So from this slide, we can discuss about the flow chart of the heat engine classification. From generally, as I told about you earlier, that is a heat engine is classified into two category. One is the internal combustion engine, another one is the external combustion engine. From the below that internal combustion engine, there is a two type. One is a rotary type, another one is a reciprocating type. From the rotary type, we can using the open cycle gas turbine. So from the open cycle gas turbine, generally that is a low pressure air is entered to the compressor. After that, the compressor is delivered the high pressure air. air. That high pressure air goes to the combustion chamber. With the help of the natural gases, we can ignite the fuel. After that, we can rotate the gas turbine to produce the useful energy. So after that, from the reciprocating engine, we can using from gasoline engine. From generally in the USA, we can tell about the gasoline engine, but in India, we can tell about the spark ignition engine or petrol engine. After that, you can use from the based upon the reciprocating engine, that is a diesel engine. So based upon the external combustion engine, there is a two type. One is a reciprocating type, another one is a rotary type. From the reciprocating type, we can using the steam engines. So nowadays we can using the steam engine, that is a locomotive engines. So now itself that the engine will be running in the good condition, particularly in the place of Metumalayam to Udagamandalam, we can operating the loco engine, that is a rail engines. After that, we can see about the Stirling engines. From the rotary type of the external combustion engine is that is a steam turbine. From here, as I told about you earlier, from the steam, how to rotate the steam turbine means, so from the boiler we can produce the steam. That pressure energy is converted into kinetic energy with the help of the nozzle. That the kinetic energy is converted into mechanical energy from the help of the steam turbines. So the high pressure steam is impinges to the high velocity steam is impinges to rotate the turbine. We can produce the mechanical energy. So next we can see about the rotary turbine, that is a rotary engine, that is a closed cycle gas turbines. So from this slide, we can detailedly discuss about the internal combustion engine classification. So generally, the internal combustion engine is classified into two categories. One is the four-stroke engine, another one is a two-stroke engine. From the four-stroke engine, there is a two type. One is a spark ignition engine and also combustion ignition engines. From the combustion ignition engine, we can using for that from that spark ignition engine, that is a two type. One is a petrol engine, another one is a gas engine. So generally, from that SI engine is we can tell about from from the scientists will be invented, that is Otto from the year of 1879. From here, from that spark ignition engine and the four-stroke engine, with the help of that from this process, that is a first process is from the four-stroke engine, that is a suction, compression, combustion and the exhaust. So generally we can tell about the SA engine is a constant volume engine, but in the CA engine is we can tell about the constant pressure cycles. From the based upon the SA engine, that is a petrol engine and a gas engine, we can enter the fuel with the help of that carburetor. From the carburetor, that the air fuel molecules are homogeneously entered to the combustion chamber. And also from the SA engine nowadays we can using for the injection type, that is a multi-point for MPFI, that is a multi-point fuel injection system. From here, from this injection system to inject the fuel in the indirect method and a direct method. The direct method is a gasoline direct injection system. But in the CA engine, we can using the operating the CA engine from the dual fuel mode and the multi-fuel engine also. And also we can divide the chamber in this engine. So generally from that SI engine, we can ignite the molecules. So what is the purpose of ignite the molecule? Means we can operate the spark plug from high voltage, because of with the help of the battery is operating from 6 volt to 12 voltage. But in the spark plug, we get the 20,000 to 30,000 voltage. So for that condition, we can using the battery ignition system or coil ignition system. So another system is the magneto ignition system, with the help of the fixed magnet and armature used to produce the from the spark plug around 20,000 to 30,000 voltage. But in the CA engine, how to the operation is going on means, from the CA engine, from the suction stroke, the atmosphere carries entered to the combustion chamber. How the atmosphere carries entered to the combustion chamber means, from the combustion chamber, that is the air that from the density of the air is below the atmospheric level, then only the atmosphere carries entered to the combustion chamber. From the suction stroke, that the air is entered to the combustion chamber. After the piston is moving from top dead center to bottom dead center. So next stroke is that is a compression stroke. From the piston is moving from BDC to TDC. From the end of the compression stroke, with the help of that injector to inject the fuel, from the high pressure fuel will be injected. From the droplet will be quenching the high temperature and high air, that is self ignition will be started. After that, the power stroke and the exhaust stroke will be happen. So from that engine, we can cool the engine with the help of this water cooled engine and the air cooled engine. So generally the air cooled engine is used for the two stroke engines from that two wheeler, but the water cooled engine is used for the internal combustion engine. From here, how to water cooled means water cooled is divided into two category. One is a forced circulation method, another one is a thermosiphon method. So from the help of this radiator and the fans, we can cool the engines and also to maintain the temperature of the engines, because of the engine will be operating from high temperatures. So based upon the engine is divided into two category. One is a reciprocating, from where you can using for the multi-cylinder engine, that is a V cylinder engine 4, 6, 8, 12, and also we can using for inclined cylinder engine, that is a 2, 4, 6, and after that we can using for opposite cylinder engine, that is a cylinder 2, 4, 6. So from here we can using the rotary Wankel engine, that is a single rotor and a tuned rotors. Before we go to discuss about the classification of the internal combustion engine, is according to the working cycle, that is a 4-stroke cycle engine and a 2-stroke cycle engine. From the 4-stroke cycle engine, that is a SI engine operation and a CA engine operation. From that engine we can using the type of fuel, that is a petrol fuel and a diesel fuel and a gas fuels. So and also we can using the method of ignition is spark ignition with the help of the spark plug, that is a spark ignition. From that, with the help of the injector to inject the fuel, that is a compression ignitions. After that we can discuss about the cooling system, that is a air cooled engine, and we can using the water cooled engines. So next we can discuss about the important key points used for the internal combustion engine. The first one is a swept volume. So the volume swept by the piston during the one stroke is called swept volume or piston displacement. In other words, the swept volume is the volume covered by the piston while moving from top dead center to bottom dead center. So based upon the internal combustion engine, the piston is placed from the top dead center to bottom dead center. So in between this distance is covered, that area is, that is a swept volume in the internal combustion engine. So next we can discuss about the scavenging in the internal combustion engine. This process of the pushing out the exhaust gas from the cylinder by admitting the fresh charge into the cylinder is known as scavenging. So generally the scavenging is, we can, after burning the molecules from the combustion stroke, from that burning the molecules are goes to the exhaust gas, from this it will be goes to the environment. So for that process is the scavenging process. If that burned molecules are goes to the environment, then only the fresh charge of air is entered to the combustion chamber. So for this process, the scavenging is the in the internal combustion engines. So next we can discuss about the short circuiting of the two-stroke engine. In the two-stroke engine, at a certain speed of the air fuel mixture is directly come out from the cylinder without undergoing the combustion process is called short circuiting of the two-stroke engines. So generally from that two-stroke engine, so from here with the help of that inlet port, that air fuel molecules are entered to the bottom of the crankcase. After the from the transport port, that is the air fuel molecules are goes to the upper portion of the piston. So for that condition, 10 to 15% without burning of the molecules are goes to the environment without any combustion, that is air fuel molecules are goes to the exhaust stroke. That process is known as a short circuiting of the two-stroke engines. Next we can discuss about the valve overlapping period. So from that four-stroke engine we can using the valve mechanism. From the valve is theoretically from the valve is opening from and closing from top dead center to bottom dead center. But in the actual condition, the valve is opening from before TDC, the valve is closing from after TDC. So for that condition, that is the time duration with the both inlet and exhaust valve remains open is called valve overlap period. So next point we can discuss about the functions of the flywheel. So generally the flywheel is an internal energy storage device. It absorbs the mechanical energy and serves a reservoir, storing the energy during the period when the supply of the energy is more than the requirement, and releases it during the period when the requirement of the energy is more than the supply. So generally we can tell about the flywheel is a energy storage device. From the power stroke we get the energy will be absorbing in the flywheel. After the remaining three stroke, that is a suction, compression and exhaust stroke, we can receive the energy from the flywheel after we can operating that stroke. So next we can discuss about the important point is ignition delay period. So ignition delay period is used from the CA engine, from the compression ignition engine. The period between the start of fuel injection into the combustion chamber and the start of combustion is termed as ignition delay period. So generally from the CA engine, that is a 5 category. One is a suction, compression, and combustion. From the period of the combustion, that is a start of injection and the start of combustion is known as the ignition delay period. So from this slide, we can discuss about the stages of combustions. So generally from the SI engine is divided into 3 category. For it is derived from the according to the Ricardo, they can describe the spark ignition engine combustions. From here, from the spark ignition engine, the first stage is ignition lag period and the second stage is flame propagation period. From the third stage is after burning period. So and also if we can follow this flame propagation factor is very important, because of from the flame propagation period only the rate of pressure rise will be gradually goes to the from the peak combustions. So we can monitoring this parameter, then only we get the better combustion in the spark ignition. The first point is air fuel ratio, better compression ratio, load on the engine, turbulence and engine speed. Finally we can discuss about the other factors. So next point is we can discuss about the pre-ignitions. So the pre-ignition mean from the SI engines there will be some self ignition. So what is the meaning of auto ignition and self ignition? Means generally from the SI engine with the help of spark plug only we ignite the hydrocarbon molecules. But in the if from that combustion chamber in the SI engine, there will be the pre-ignition will be happen. So because of some hydrocarbon molecules are present on the combustion chamber, for that any other peak condition or particularly from any other condition, but that hydrocarbon molecule will be busted, that is a self ignition. If that pre-ignition will be happen means there will be knocking and detonation will be occurred on the combustion chamber. So if that pre-ignition will be happen on the SI engine means it increase the tendency of the detonation in the engine. It increase the heat transfer to cylinder walls. Because of high temperature gas remains in the contact with the longer time, the pre-ignition in a single cylinder will be reduced the speed and the power output. So these are all the factors to affect the pre-ignition happen on the combustion chamber means these are all the parameters to affect the process of the engine. So next we can discuss about the stages of combustion in the CA engines. So generally from the stages of combustion in the CA engine is divided into 4 category. From the first period is ignition delay period or free flame combustion. The next one is uncontrolled combustion. The third one is controlled combustion. Finally, we can discuss about the after burning period. From that CA engine, these are all the factors to affecting the delay period in the CA engines. From here, the delay period is very important from the CA engines. From here, that is a many design and operating factors are affected the delay periods. From here, that is the first one is a compression ratio, second one is engine speed, third one is output, next one is injection timing and the quality of the fuel intake temperature and intake pressure. So we can monitoring this parameter, then only we get the better combustion in the CA engines. So from this slide, we can discuss about the knocking. So knocking is very important parameter in the this from the CA engine. So if the delay period of the CA engine is long, there will be the more fuel will be injected and accumulated in the chamber. When ignition begins pulsating, the pressure rise can be noticed by the create the heavy noise. This is known as a knocking. So generally the how the knocking will be happen on the CA engine means, so from generally from that initially we can inject the fuel in the start of injection and the start of combustion. So we can making this delay period is properly happen on the combustion chamber. There is no knocking will be occurred. So for that condition from the start of fuel injection will be continuously, it will goes to the longer time. So for that conditions there will be creating more noise in the combustion chamber. That noise is known as a knocking. So for that condition, the knocking will be upper on the CA engine. I mean, sometimes it will be damaging the piston and piston liners. So next we can discuss about the various engine variables affecting the knocking can be classified as the first factor is temperature factor, density factor, time factor, and composition factors. These are all the factors are based upon the fuel properties. So next we can discuss about the phenomena of the knocking in the spark ignited engines. From that auto ignition of the end charge is responsible for the knocking is spark ignite engine. From that generally from that petrol engine, that is there is a three stages as I told about you. That is a ignition lag period, after that after burning period, and the flame propagation period. So from that after burning period only from the SA engine the knocking will be happen. So next we can discuss about the emission point of view. From that from the major emission occurred from the internal combustion engine. First one is a carbon monoxide, another one is oxides of nitrogen, another one is a hydrocarbon. So if that carbon monoxide is affected the entire global warming condition, because of it will be rise on the global temperature, the rise in the sea level, and food storages and hunger and climatic changes. So generally from the internal combustion, these are all the major emissions: carbon monoxide, oxides of nitrogen, and hydrocarbon. So if you the carbon monoxide, that is from the incomplete combustion, the carbon monoxide is occurred. So next we can reduce the NOx in the diesel engines, because of the NOx is increased generally in our atmosphere, that is in 72 percentage nitrogen is present and the remaining percentage is oxygen is present. So based upon that, if you are operating the diesel engine from the high temperature, for that condition the NOx will be occurred. So we can reduce the NOx with the help of this low self ignition temperature and reduction of excess air, and also we can using the catalytic converter. The catalytic converter is a phase changing reactions. So next we can reduce the hydrocarbon from the diesel engines. So from that so generally from that SA engine, the hydrocarbon is, that is because of we can using the octane fuel. From the octane fuel, that is the carbon and the hydrogen bond will be completely burned. From the complete combustion we can reduce the hydrocarbon, and also we can avoiding the rapid deceleration, and also we can operating the engine from the normal speed running conditions. So from this slide we can discuss about the photographic view of the construction of the engines. From here from the engine we can accommodate the major engine parts, that is as engine head, cylinder, piston, connecting rod, crankshaft, engine block, crankcase, flywheel, diesel nozzle, valves, inlet and exhaust valves, and finally we can discuss about the construction of the engines. So based upon the engine we can accommodate these are the engine main engine parts. From here you can see this photography, that is this one is a crankshaft, this one is a piston, connecting rod, after that flywheel. From here we can using the fuel injectors. After that from the top of this cylinder block, that is a engine head. From this schematic view of the two-stroke engine and four-stroke engine, from the two-stroke engine we can use, that is a port injection type, but in the two-stroke engine that is a valve mechanisms are used. From the two-stroke engine we can using the ports, that is a inlet port, transport port and exhaust port. From here we can using the cooling system is, that is a fin is present. And also from the two-stroke engine, and the four-stroke engine we can using that two-stroke engine, that is a spark plug, but in the four-stroke engine we can using the injectors from the CA engine, but the petrol engine we can using the spark plug. So next slide we can discuss about the photographic view of the cylinder in basic engine component. The first one is a cylinder block. From the cylinder block we can accommodate the crankcase, connecting rod, piston, connecting rod, crankcase, piston and piston liner, cylinder liners. After that piston rings. These are all the components, are important components accommodated in this cylinder block. From that cylinder block there will be hole. That hole is represented, that is a cooling, the cooling water jacket, that is a that a coolant will be circulated from it. Because of that engine is operating in the high temperature, for that conditions we need record to the temp to maintain the temperature. So that purpose that this hole will be circulated the water jacket. So generally the cylinder block is the main supporting structure for the various components. The cylinder head is mounted on the cylinder block. The bottom portion of the cylinder block is called crankcase. So generally from the cylinder block is accommodated from the crankcase, connecting rod, piston rings, after that cylinder liner. So from the next slide we can see about the photographic view of the cylinder head. From the cylinder head is to seal of the engine. The cylinder is both fixed and detachable heads are used. It is made up of aluminum or gray cast iron. So cylinder head is made up of, that is aluminum and gray cast iron. From here from the cylinder head we can accommodate the rocker arm, camshaft, valves, and depending upon the valve layouts. So next slide, we can discuss about the cylinder. From the photographic of the cylinder is present from here inside of the engine, that is a cylinder. From here we can see this, that is this component known as a cylinder liner. So why we have to using the cylinder liner means because the piston is moving from reciprocating motion. Here that from that piston there is a two rings. One is a oil rings, another one is a compression rings. Because of if the wear and tear will be happening, means automatically from that assembling and disassembling from that cylinder liners means we can remove the cylinder liner. After that we can insert the new cylinder liners. So that purpose we can using the liners from the cylinder. So from that engine cylinder usually fitted with the cylindrical sieves called liners. These liners are inserted into the bore of the cylinder block. So from here we can show the cut section of the cylinder. After that we can see this cavity. This cavity only we can, the water will be circulated. Because of this one, this name as a water jacket. After the bottom from that upper layer of the cylinder is, that is a two valve. One is the inlet valve, another one is the exhaust valve. From that inlet valve, that is a the atmospheric air is entered to the combustion chamber. From that exhaust valve, the burned molecules are goes to the atmosphere with the help of this exhaust valve. So next slide, we can discuss about the inlet and exhaust valve. From the valves are used to admit the fuel into the cylinder during the suction stroke called inlet valve. From here, the valves are used to allow the burnt the gas escape to the atmosphere. That stroke, that valve is known as a exhaust valve. So as I told about earlier, from the inlet valve is used for that atmospheric air is entered to the combustion chamber. From the exhaust valve is used for that burned molecules are goes to the atmosphere. So that purpose we can using the exhaust valve. From the valve mechanisms of operated from the timing mechanism with the help of the cam and rocker hammer adjustment. So next slide, we can discuss about the photographic view of the piston. From the piston is, there is a two layer. From the top of the piston will be closed, from the bottom of the piston will be hollow. So the main function of the piston is to compress the air fuel mixture to transmit the compression pressure to the crank pin and force out the burned gases. The main function of the piston is, for example, from the suction stroke, that from the SA engine, that is the air fuel molecules are entered to the combustion chamber. For that condition, we from the compression stroke, we have to compress the air fuel molecules. From that end of the compression stroke, with the help of the spark plug to ignite the molecule. After that, the combustion will be started, the piston is goes to the top dead center to bottom dead center. So that purpose we can, the main function is the piston is used. So for the condition of the pre-ignition condition, sometimes that the carbon is from for the pre-ignition condition, sometimes the from the combustion chamber the high temperature will be happen, means for the time the piston will be cracking or the piston will be making for holes also. So next we can discuss about the piston rings. From the piston rings, there is a two types of rings are used from the piston. The piston ring is inserted to the piston. From that here there is two types of rings. One is a compression rings, another one is oil rings. To provide the effective seal in the cylinder to avoid the leakage of the combustion products and the gas leak to the crankcase. And also it transmits the heat from the piston during the burning mixture to the cylinder wall, and also uniformly spray of the lubricating oil at the cylinder wall and scrapping the excess oil. Next, we can discuss about the gudgeon pins. The piston is connected at the center with the small end of the connecting rod by the piston, or that known as a gudgeon pin. So this figure is, this image is, that is a gudgeon pin. So the gudgeon pin is used to connecting with the help of the piston and the connecting rod. From that small end of the connecting rod with the help of this gudgeon pin. After we can insert this gudgeon pin from the two side, we can using this lock. Next slide, we can discuss about the connecting rod. From here, we can show the schematic view of the connecting rod. So generally, the connecting rod is used to transmit the motion from the piston to crankshaft. It is a greater strength and rigidity with a lightweight, and also it is usually tell about the section is I section. From here, the one end of the connecting rod is small diameter, and another end of the which is connected to the piston. The other end is big diameter, which is connected to the crankshaft, is made of split type sleeve. So we can see the piston and connecting rod assembly. From that engine, that is a V8 engines. From here we can see this connecting rod. From the, as I told about earlier, the connecting rod is two end. One is a small end, another one is a big end. From the big end is connected to the crankcase, and the small end is connected to the piston. From here we can see this piston. Now different types of rings are present. That is a compression ring, oil ring. After that, we can see with the help of this GNE pin to connect the piston at the small end of the connecting rod. From the big end of the connecting rod is with the help of the journal bearings to connect the crankcase. Next, we can see about the photographic view of the piston with the connecting rod. So from that size of this piston and the connecting rod. So next very important part is in the SI engine, that is a spark plug. The spark plug is important for the ignition system. The main function of the spark plug is to contact with high potential affected by the ignition system into the combustion chamber to produce the spark. So generally the spark plug is designed to operate under high pressure. From that voltage is around 20,000 to 30,000 voltage, withstand the gas pressure of high as a 40 kg per centimeter square. So generally from that battery we get the 6 volt to 12 voltage battery, but with the help of that primary coil ignition system, that is a battery coil ignition system or magneto coil ignition system. So for that system we can creating the send the high voltage from the spark plug around 20,000 to 30,000 voltage. So in between this electrode. So next slide we can see the photographic view of the spark plug. From that spark plug we can see the cut section of the spark plug. From here these are all the important components are present in the spark plug. From here this part is a terminal. After that from that terminal we can using this ceramic insulator. After this portion is a spline, and we can using the inside of the spark plug, that is a resistance. From here there is a ground electrode. From this ground electrode only the spark will be traveling around 20,000 to 30,000 voltage. In between distance is 0.64 to 0.75 mm from the gap. From here this spark is traveled from this electrode only. So for that pre-ignition condition, sometimes that the high temperature will be occur on the combustion chamber, means from that time that is the spark plug electrode also melted. From here these are all the construction view of the spark plug. So next slide we can discuss about the cam and the camshaft. From this shape is a loop shape. This device is used to change the rotary motion to the linear motion known as a cam. The cam is egg-shaped protrusions. It has one or more high spot called lobe. The number of cams arranged in the shaft is called camshaft. So next slide we can discuss about how to we can using the piston and rocker arm operation with the camshaft. From this piston and rocker arm operation with the camshaft means with the help of that from the timing adjustment from that crankshaft is connected to the flywheel. From that flywheel will be rotating the to operating this loop to opening the inlet valve and exhaust valve. This is the small animation video from that operation of the piston and rocker arm operation with the camshaft. So next slide we can see the photographic view of the multi-cylinder engine. From the multi-cylinder engine there is a inline cylinder arrangement. From the that is a 4 cylinders are used. So we can operating this cylinder with the help of this firing order. If the for example the firing order will be happen on the first cylinder, means next that is goes to the second cylinder, after fourth cylinder, after third cylinder. So these are all the important components accommodated in the multi-cylinder engine. So one is a crankshaft, sorry, crankshaft, connecting rod, be connecting big end is connected to the crankshaft, and the small end is connected to the piston with the help of the gudgeon pin. After we can using the clutch, gearbox, after that inlet valve and exhaust valve. After that here we can using this from the head, we can it will be accommodated the camshaft, inlet valve, exhaust valve, after the rocker arm. So these are all the important components used for the multi-cylinder engines. So next we can discuss about the nomenclature of the engine cylinder. As I told about the earlier condition, that is a soap to volume or displacement volume. So that is the first point is bore. The bore is denoted by the diameter of the cylinder. The stroke is distance between the top dead center to bottom dead center. That is a stroke volume or soap to volume. That soap to volume is the distance between the top dead center to bottom dead center. Next, we can see about the dead center is a dead center is commonly tell about that a piston is placed on the top of the cylinder, that is a top dead center. If the piston is placed on the bottom cylinder, bottom of the portion, that is a bottom dead center. So next slide, we can discuss about the displacement volume. So generally the volume will be swept due to the linear travel to the piston from top dead center to bottom dead center is called swept volume or displacement volume. So generally we can tell about the V suffix x is equal to area into length. So area is already, pi d square by 4. So next very important point is clearance volume. So the clearance volume means that the volume of the combustion chamber above the piston when the it is at the TDC is called clearance volume denoted by the V suffix C. So the piston is moving from bottom dead center to top dead center. So for the cylinder head and the spark plug or injector, so in between this volume space is known as a clearance volume. So next we can see about the cylinder volume. Thus generally the cylinder volume is equal to swept volume plus clearance volume. So very important point is from the SA engine and the C engine, very important parameters, that is a compression ratio. So generally from the petrol engine, that is a 6:10, that is a compression ratio, but in the diesel engine, that is a 16.4 to 23 from the compression ratio. From the ratio of the cylinder volume to clearance volume is called compression ratio. It is denoted by the R. Thank you.